I agree that hateful and violent rhetoric is something we should reject. I do, and I think a great place to start to dial that back would be to have a conversation with your husband about it, because, by the way, I also should point out, Donald Trump is allowed to say whatever he wants to say, as are you, and as am I, as are all of us, because under the First Amendment, we have, as Americans, a right to free speech.
Jimmy Kimmel there, defending a joke he made last week that prompted President Donald Trump to call for ABC to fire the late-night host. Let's get the details on this latest fight between Kimmel and the president with Lucas Shaw, who leads our Screen Time team out of LA and Hollywood. Where do we start, Lucas? I mean, there is a chronology to what happened over the last 7 days, but the net result is that the president has called for Jimmy Kimmel to be fired.
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little bit like deja vu, which Kimmel talked about on television last night. It was 6 months ago, give or take. I think it was maybe 7, where the chairman of the FCC, Brendan Carr, President Trump, were calling for Kimmel to be fired by Disney and ABC, or calling on stations to come after Kimmel. But that's one of the big differences this time versus last time is, Disney reacted very swiftly, in part because some of the biggest local station owners, which carry the kind of ABC on their local networks, were asking for Kimmel to be fired or asking for him to be off the air because of comments he'd made at the time regarding Charlie Kirk.
Right.
This time they aren't doing that. They've been pretty silent.
Lucas, in October, after that first dispute, you had an extended conversation with Kimmel on stage in Los Angeles at our Screen Time event. For the Bloomberg Tech audience around the world that may not understand this, right? They don't necessarily know Jimmy Kimmel. They don't understand why the president is so engaged over what Jimmy Kimmel has to say. Just give us the basics of his show, its reach, why this is happening.
Look, Jimmy Kimmel hosts one of the 3 main late-night talk shows on American broadcast TV. You've got the show on CBS by Stephen Colbert, which is about to go away. You've got the show on NBC, hosted by Jimmy Fallon, and then Kimmel on ABC. He is not known, or at least for most of his career, was not known as a political comedian, but over the last several years has gotten far more outspoken on politics and has been a really frequent thorn in the side of President Trump. Trump does not like to get made fun of, and is someone who still cares about late-night television. And so they've had sort of public jousting again and again. And I think this time, Disney didn't take Kimmel off the air. Kimmel was not, he is finding a way to consistently tweak the president while also trying to, not cross the line as he has done in the past.
Kimmel did say he was sorry for what Trump, the First Lady, and everyone at the dinner, this is a White House Correspondents' dinner, went through. But question whether really the joke was in any way relationship to then what occurred over the weekend. That is the context here, Lucas. How do we see, therefore, maybe any Brendan Carr comments coming further? Do you anticipate, or are you bracing yourself for any further reaction?
Look, you made a crucial point, which is that Jimmy Kimmel made a joke that we can debate whether or not it was in good taste or not, but it was made prior to the incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend. So it's not like he was making light of that situation. Because the comments were edgy, they have been weaponized by the Trump administration once again to show that Kimmel is kind of a bad guy. Is it possible that FCC and that the FCC and Brendan Carr come after Kimmel, or more specifically come after Disney and those ABC stations? Licenses? Kind of anything is possible. Brendan Carr has behaved in a manner that is unlike any FCC chair before, but we don't know yet what they're planning to do.